Hello, my name's Limey Joe, and this is my guide to one of my favourite open world games of all time, Mad Max. Mad Max has been out for years now, and it's one of the games I keep coming back to because it's just so much fun. It follows a familiar open world formula, but I love almost everything about the game, from the post-apocalyptic setting, quirky characters and storyline, to the roar of your muscle car whilst you drive about and the visceral bone-crunching melee fighting. So let's jump straight in and have a look at the game. After the initial storyline and tutorial area, you end up in Jeet's territory with the general aim to make this area safer by doing various tasks that kill off the main bad guy Scrotus's horde. At the start of the new area, I like to get the lay of the land. That means finding a hot air balloon and going up in it to have a look around with my binoculars. With the one I chose for the video, there aren't any guards, but there is a door which I have to blow open, which brings me to my first tip. Tip 1. Always carry a spare fuel can with you, because you never know when it will be handy. Tip 2. Obvious one, but pick up as much scrap as you can. Scrap is used for upgrading your car and maxes ability, so you can never have too much. Next up, I like to take out the hideous scarecrows that Scrotus's boys erect all over the place. There are two ways you can take out scarecrows, snipers' nests and other similar structures. Firstly, you can use your harpoon, then pull the structure over, or you can just ram it with your car, but using your car to ram something usually means your car takes damage as well. Snipers' nests, which are also dotted around the landscape, are easier if you can snipe them first before they even notice you. Now to the meat of Scrotus's forces. Scrotus will have several bases in each area. For most bases you will want to scout the base defences first from a distance with your sniper's rifle or binoculars. Bases will have various perimeter defences, and once they've seen you, a timer will start to tick up. If that timer gets to the top, the base defences go into overdrive and you will find it more difficult to take them out. I usually shoot any snipers before approaching, then drive in and take the other defences out as fast as possible with the harpoon. Sometimes you'll be able to get intel about bases and there will be a sneaky way in. Once you've taken out the perimeter defences, bust down the gate and proceed inside. Fight and loot your way to the main objective of the base, which sometimes involves blowing something up, sometimes fighting a mini-boss, or sometimes just to kill everybody inside. The game will always give you the tools you need, so don't worry about carrying a gas can in, but I would recommend starting with good health. Bases will often have a war crier inside. This foolish idiot will be sat on a couple of fuel cans, dangled above an area with a lot of other dudes. Like the perimeter defense, he has a timer that ticks up once he's seen you that makes the other enemies stronger, so you'll want to take him out fast. A quick shot with your sawn-off will do the job, but if you're out of ammo there's always another way, but it can be tricky with a dozen other maniacs chasing you around. Tip 3. Sometimes you can shoot the war crier from outside the base with your sniper's rifle. Tip 4. If you're a completionist, don't use all your shotgun ammo because some of the insignias can't be reached with a melee weapon, so you have to shoot them. Okay, now I thought I'd give you a few fighting tips. Number 1. Fight defensively. Wait for the enemy to swing, then parry and hit back. If another enemy goes for you, immediately parry him instead. Number 2. Don't try to fight in the middle of a group of enemies, roll to the outside edge of the group. Number 3. Save your shivs for the worst enemies. Number 4. Take your time. This isn't exactly Dark Souls, but button mashing attack doesn't usually work. Number 5. Keep a close eye on the enemies with shields or other attacks that are unblockable and be ready to roll when they attack. Often they will mow down other enemies to get to you, so you can use them to your advantage. Last but definitely not least is the car combat, and the biggest test of your skill is taking out the convoys. It will be very difficult to take out the main vehicle without getting rid of the others first. My advice is to drive up behind the convoy. As you get close, one of the cars will peel off and try and kill you. If you drop back a little bit once this happens, you can deal with them one at a time before taking on the main truck. I very rarely use ramming tactics when trying to deal with the convoy, because your car takes too much damage. Use the harpoon to pull the driver out of the car, or tear off a wheel to disable it, then move on to the next one. Sometimes you might find a quick shotgun blast to the fuel tank is the most efficient option, and with some vehicles you will need to pull the doors off before you can get at the driver. Later in the game you will find the amusingly named Thunderpoon is invaluable. I thought I'd give you some other general tips as well. Number 1, buy the crowbar as soon as you can, because you will need it on a number of occasions to pry open doors or boxes. Number 2, seek cover when there's a storm. You can pick up some scrap when there's a storm, but you and your car will take significant damage by flying debris. Number 3, if the magnum opus catches on fire and you have to bail out with the enemy vehicle still around, stick close to your car and use it as cover. As the enemies pass by, you can use your shotgun to good use. And number 4, upgrade Jeet and other allies' bases, because it will save time searching around for resources. Okay, that finishes my guide to Mad Max. Hope you enjoy it as much as I have. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Ready to go.